This is just gross. A Kansas City teacher talked to Fox 4 about a recent attack that she suffered at the hands of a student. And it was a well-done piece by Fox 4. It's sad. I appreciate the teacher speaking up and speaking out and talking to media. Stacy Williamson is her name. She was assaulted inside of East High in KCMO. And this happened back in early September. 2 months later, she's still not back to work. She's recovering from a serious concussion and grappling with the fear of returning. So she talked to Fox 4, and the conversation was her describing what happened, which I'll play for you here. And then the next part is what can be done about it. Is there state law that can be passed to stop these kinds of attacks? And the quick answer is no. It's like anything else. I mean, there are laws against obviously beating up somebody. There are laws against being violent against somebody. What you need in this case is Jackson County and prosecutors and juvenile court to take care of this person and to do something about it. That's what you need. It's not about state law. Here was Fox 4 talking to this teacher, Stacy Williamson, as she described what happened to her at East High in early September.
It was just a normal day. You know, I parked in my normal spot. I park in the same spot every day.
The health sciences instructor is taught at East High in KC Public Schools for the past 4 years.
I love watching them make mistakes and teaching them that that's how we learn.
She's still recovering from an assault 2 months ago inside the halls of East High.
There were 4 girls in the bathroom. 2 of them had already left, and the other 2 were washing up.
It's passing period, and the bathrooms are supposed to be locked. That's when another student shows up.
She's like, get out of my way. I'm like, the bathroom's closed. I'm really sorry, but, And she took her hands and she used her fists and hit me. And she hit me so hard in my arm that she left these massive bruises here that lasted for almost 4 weeks.
The student didn't stop there.
So I turned to grab my phone, and she jumped me from behind. She was just like pounding on me.
Leaving Williamson with a severe concussion and a 5-night stay in North Kansas City Hospital.
Something's got to change.
Yeah. What needs to change is the culture. What needs to change is parents. That's what needs to change. We can't legislate our way out of kids acting like animals and beating up authority figures. And, this is not a fight between 2 kids in the school, in the bathroom. This is a young woman in a women's restroom beating up a teacher to the point where she gives her a concussion. There's not a state law you're passing on this. I know we want to find the easy, simple solution. It doesn't exist. Here's more from Fox 4 on this attack at East High School in Kansas City, Missouri.
So what comes of these violent situations? At Williamson School, it's not unusual to get one of these emails asking staff to identify students suspected in fights or beatings. John McDonald with the Center for Education Safety says schools can do more to protect teachers.
At what point do we draw a line and say, this is not okay? We set the climate and culture as adults. We set the expectations and we demand the expectations and we hold everybody accountable.
Just stop that guy right there. John McDonald, Center for Education Safety. Okay, it's nice to be a part of a think tank and just be able to say all the right things and make it sound like you know what you're talking about. But with all due respect, he didn't say anything there. He said nothing at all important there. He said nice words. It sounded good. It made you say, yeah, you get him, John. But what John just said, to read you that quote, is, at what point do we say enough is enough? We set the climate and culture as adults. We set expectations. We demand the expectations, and we hold everyone accountable. Wow, John, that's great. Put that one on a plaque, buddy. Way to go. You have students oftentimes raised in bad conditions. Oftentimes, sadly, one parent in the household. I'm not saying that's the case in this case. I'm just saying oftentimes you can connect a lot of dots and tie single-parent households to poverty, to kids acting out, to, lives of crime. It's not difficult to connect all these dots. And for this guy, John McDonald, to give that quote to Fox 4 with the Center for Education Safety, it's like, John, you didn't give me anything there, buddy. I mean, there's nothing at all of substance to latch onto with that comment.
He needs to address why a public high school feels it needs to close the bathrooms.
Well, yeah, good
during
point.
school hours.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't work that way. You weren't supposed to be in there, but it wasn't closed.
Yep.
You know, you might have had a teacher say, hurry up and get the class, the bell's going to ring.
Mm-hmm.
Or if it already had, you might be in trouble. But I don't know why you would close, and I'm using air quotes, a bathroom like that. That's the big issue.
What ties back to the culture and what the heck these kids are doing that leads these schools to require the bathrooms to be locked down at certain points during the day. So, you know, if John wants to sit there and preach about the culture and the climate, well, you can only do so much as a teacher or an administrator. What's going on in the neighborhoods? What's going on at home? Why are we not looking at that part of this equation and saying, what's happening there? Okay, and not that any school district is perfect, obviously. Every school district has its own set of problems. But I guarantee you go to certain parts of the metro and teachers are not worried about getting concussed in the bathroom by a student. Let's continue with the Fox 4 piece.
For you, Fox 4 took our questions to lawmakers. Kathy Steinhoff and Mike Henderson worked in education for years.
I wish there was an easy answer to this problem, but there just really isn't.
Thank you.
When it comes to that sort of legislation.
Do you think that in an effort to balance so many different best interests, sometimes nothing happens?
Yes, yes, I do.
See, that clip there is from Kathy Steinhoff talking to Fox 4. She's a Missouri state rep. She said, I wish there was an easy answer to the problem, but there isn't when it comes to that sort of legislation. Thank you. And then she gets asked in the follow-up, you know, in the interests of everybody, does nothing get done? And then she says yes. What I would say is it's not about it being in the interests of everybody. It's what is reasonable legislation that would actually do anything here. You're telling me these punk kids that are willing to concuss their teachers in the bathroom are suddenly going to be like, you know, new state law out, I probably shouldn't do that. Really?
My bad.
Yep. Oops. I missed that one on KCMO Talk Radio, that new piece of legislation that worked its way through Jeff City. I better not beat up my teacher today. I mean, you have family court. You have a juvenile system. You have Jackson County prosecutors who can work on this. You have KCPD that can be involved in this. And now it's obviously also getting the judges on board. That's been a major problem here. You want to talk about this issue? Look at the judges. Same thing in the shooting down at the Super Bowl rally. You had a couple of minors involved in that. And, you know, it's debatable whether or not the judges involved with these juveniles are doing a good enough job. Many would argue they're not in Jackson County. And I've heard that from people who are Republicans and Democrats. Now, Democrats are a little less likely to want to say the quiet part out loud, but they're not thrilled with some of these judges because what do the judges do? Oh, you know, tough kid, tough circumstances at home, you know, slap on the wrist. It's like, well, you know what? That's how you end up with more of this.
Parents want good discipline in the school. Most kids want good discipline in the school. And that's your responsibility to set that tone and make sure it's a safe, good environment for these kids to learn in. And I think that happens at the local level. It doesn't happen in Jeff City.
That's a great answer, too. That's Missouri State Senator Mike Henderson talking to Fox 4. That's what that is. So he's got the right idea right there is what he's got. 913-408-7957 is the text line and the studio line on KCMO Talk Radio. So he's right. Most parents want good discipline. Most kids want good discipline. The kids that want to learn want good discipline. And that happens at the local level. That does not happen or come out of Jefferson City. On the text line, Pete, what about lowering the juvenile age, charging them as adults? I mean, in certain circumstances, I have been a proponent of that. And, you know, it just depends if this case rises to that level. You got something for me in there? Thought I heard you. If not, we'll go to Danny in Kansas City. Go ahead, Danny.
How come we ain't doing something to get the parents involved? Why don't they hold them accountable? They're the ones that's screwing up the kids, so hold them accountable.
You know, I've heard that come up as an answer and a solution. Thank you, Danny. more frequently around the country, right? There are parents who have been charged, I think in Michigan it happened, with parents who were charged over their kid being involved in a school shooting, I believe it was, right?
Bought the gun and stuff.
Yes. The parents brought the gun. That is a dicey road to go down. I'm personally not there yet. I'm not a fan of it.
Well, I'm with you there, but that assumes there are parents that care. The parents may be a bigger problem. You can ask any public school teacher about just a little kid acting up and the parents coming up there to defend, a 5-year-old acting out. So the parents, I think you bypass them in this case. We spend enough money in the school districts that you get rid of some administrators and you hire more paras so that there are 2 adults in any classroom or someone in the hall permanently. You've got the money to spend to do that rather than having an assistant principal.
I'm with you there. That's a great idea, John. You get rid of the assistant principal. You hire somebody that works more like public security, and you get them in and around the schools. Now, I know a lot of them may already have
RSO. They get the resource officers and things.
Yeah, you get a resource officer in most cases. But I'm with you, man. These administrations are so bloated in these public schools. Whittle those down, and you know what? Get some help where you need it, in the hallways and in the classrooms.
Action, yeah.
And that's what you've got to do. But they won't do it. These superintendents and these administrations will not do it because they're riding the gravy train. All of them are riding the gravy train. The kids have not been first and put first in the formula for success in these public schools in decades. So why would they start now? This is not on the teachers. This is not on poor Stacy. What's her last name? I apologize. I got the story in front of me here. This is not on Stacy. She's the one who's just trying to help out, getting beat up in the bathroom, Stacy Williamson. It's about the administrations that continue to let down the kids and let down the teachers. And this is what you get.
Sometimes the parents are the middlemen. You cut them out. You arrest that student for assault. You take them downtown. Then you call the parents. Come and get them.
Yeah.
Bail them out.
Bingo.
It's your problem now.
I love that. 913-408-7957. Careful, Pete. You start talking about culture and parenting, someone's going to leave you a nasty Facebook review again. Yeah, I got plenty of those over the last 48 hours on my Facebook page because of what I posted on Sunday. I got plenty of that. I could use another couple of bad reviews on the Facebook page. Why not? Keep them rolling in. You can find it there. Pete Mundo on KCMO Talk Radio. 913-408-7957.
Your 5-star rating's a black hole.
Yeah. Oh, man. It does look, by the way, like Amazon is bouncing back. For the second time in a month, there was an issue and an outage with Amazon Web Services that resulted in major websites being down early this morning, including X and a bunch of others. ChatGPT has had issues as well. So I guess all of John Anthony's jokes he can't be using AI for anymore. He's got to actually come up with them the old-fashioned way. I'm just kidding. John has never used AI for any joke on this show. He would never do.
Spell it.
Yeah.
The Twitter's back.
Twitter's back. X, Mark. X. It's like 3 years now.
Yeah,
X.
the X is back.
X is back. Thank you.